Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall and John Madden. The Cowboys had just taken a 14-3 lead over the Redskins with 7:08 left to play in the first half. Septien to kick off. Good kick. Nelms retreats 2 yards deep in the end zone. Nelms is cut down by Bill Bates.
You talk about your big play guys, and you're usually talking about an offensive player, but Bill Bates is that type of guy on defense and special teams. Watch him come down there, run through the sun, play off blockers. He just has a nose for that ball, and then once he gets there, he's a good tackler. So he just throws his body in there, wraps those arms around, takes him down. Bully Bill Bates out of the playground. Tough guy in the playground, elementary school.
Tough guy in the ball yard, too. 1st and 10. Redskins their own 17. Theismann goes to work. With time. Monk out of bounds at about the 45. Everson Walls knocked him out of bounds. Art Monk is dangerous.
And I tell you, Joe Theismann made a nice throw here in getting that ball over Everson Walls. Because we'll see it here. It's a zone type of coverage. Watch him. He looks to the left first, comes back to Monk. Now watch, there's Walls. He gets it over Walls and right into Monk. And Monk takes a whack from Dexter Clinkscale on the sideline. Clinkscale is all padded up there. You see him, looks like a linebacker. He got gloves and elbow pads and all kinds of stuff on there.
Tell you what, Art Monk is a big, strong guy. He can take a lot of those whacks. Charlie Brown comes in now. Theismann scrambles, got some room. Theismann down at the Dallas 38. 14-yard gain, first down, Joe Theismann. Really is a remarkable guy, this number 7.
Well, you know, it's the same type of thing that we talked about earlier. On a pass rush, unless you have someone in all the pass rush lanes, he's going to find an open one, as he did there, hit it, and then give you that slide after he picks up the first down.
Always aware of exactly where he is. First down, Redskins. The Dallas 38. Charlie Brown takes the zip from Joe. Ron Fellows and Dennis Thurman on the defense.
Well, I'm sure they're all glad to see Charlie Brown back in there. You know, he had that ankle and Achilles problem earlier. He just came back off that, and then last Thursday against the Vikings, he hurt his knee. Practiced Wednesday, they thought he was okay, and then he came back on Thursday and couldn't go. Last night, Joe Gibbs didn't even know if Charlie Brown could play today.
Said we'll have to wait until we see the warm-up. 2nd and 1. There at the Dallas 29, Theismann gives to Washington. Washington to the 25, first down. Ed Jones tripped him up.
Well, Joe Washington still has those little moves, doesn't he? He put on about 3 of them before he got to the line of scrimmage, and he put on about 2 more after he got there. At those little wiggles.
Like Walter Payton, they can jump from side to side so quickly.
He moves everywhere quickly, Joe Washington. Always whistling. Walks around whistling all the time.
Even now. Monk is the move man. Theismann comes back. Here's the blitz. Look out, Joe. Clinkscale came from the blind side.
Yeah, sometimes the way Dexter Clinkscale is wearing those pads, those elbow pads and wrist and the hands, he looks like a linebacker. That's what Joe Theismann said last night. He said, you know, they put those guys like Clinkscale and Bates in 40 numbers. He said they ought to put him in 50 numbers. They're just linebackers anyway. Joe didn't see that linebacker coming from behind him.
Hard to pick them all up, isn't it? 2nd and 10. They have Clinkscale and Bates lined up close again. Linebacker position. Theismann back to throw. Batted away by Everson Walls. But a penalty marker goes down. Walls had a hand on him. Art Monk was the receiver.
I think what he had here, I think he batted it down with one hand and had the other hand on the shoulder pad. But tell you, on that pattern, Joe Theismann didn't see him, but one of the Redskins, I think it was Didier, was running free in the middle of the field. It would have been a touchdown. Let's watch this here. Walls on Monk. Now, he does knock the ball down, but I think, well, right there he grabbed him. That could be the penalty right there if they didn't call it before. And he did have the left hand on, so he had old Everson Walls had a little double dipper there. That's why he didn't complain when he saw that flag. I knew I did it.
That's 1st and 10 Redskins at the Dallas 15.
Stuff out there being a corner and having to cover Art Monk.
Oh, yeah.
My guys just always say, hey, coach, I'm on an island out here. Lonely.
Well, he's out there with Calvin Muhammad this time. And Fellows has Monk. Theismann gets to Washington, and down he goes from Randy White from behind.
You know, that's that same play that we saw earlier, that counter that Riggins ran. But watch as the guard and tackle start to pull. Watch Randy White just gets in behind him. Rick Donley, the center, tries to block back. But it's hard to block back when Randy White's the guy you're blocking back on. He just gets right in behind those pulling guys.
2nd down and 12. Clock running at 4:10 left to play. First half. Here they come. Theismann has it batted away again. That time by Michael Downs.
Ernie Stautner said that they're coming after him. They are coming after him with a lot of people. Watch 26 downs here. He works his way through some guys. He looked like too tall there. Oh, Michael too tall down. See him, and he got that rush, got that hand up, just like too tall.
Looked like Dr. Downs.
Dr. Too Tall down.
3rd down and 12. Redskins at the Dallas 17. They're showing them blitz and pressure again. No flag. Theismann fires over the head of Calvin Muhammad. And there still is no penalty marker. Everson Walls on the defense. Redskins upset.
Well, it did look like there was a little bump down there. Let's watch Walls again on Calvin Muhammad. He's trying to see the quarterback and the receiver at the same time. He's coming up for the ball. There is a bump there, but I think that's okay.
That's a pretty good play.
I think a defender, when the ball's in the air, he has to be able to run up to get it, too.
Moseley from 35 will have another go at it. And a successful goal, and that makes it 14-6. You get down, but you can't get in. Before the day's over, that's going to hurt.
This is the dawn of a new kind of automotive thinking. Forward thinking that refuses to accept the idea that anything with 4 doors is by definition boring. The result, a fuel-injected 4-door sedan that doesn't look or act like a 4-door sedan. Ford Tempo, a forward-thinking car. Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
The great American railroads. They were built to cut coast-to-coast travel from 5 months to 1 week and open up the West. That pioneer spirit made this country grow. Today, I see that same spirit and energy in hundreds of small to mid-sized companies whose new ideas, new jobs, and new technologies will continue to build America. At First Jersey Securities, we specialize in discovering these emerging growth companies for today's investors with vision. First Jersey Securities. Come grow with us.
14-6, the Cowboys over the Redskins. 3:50 to go in the first half. The Redskins scoring drive, 9 plays. They went 65 yards, and they came up with 3 by Moseley as Jeff Hayes kicks it off. Deep kick to Chuck McSwain. And he stays. Started out, but Gary Allen said no. Remain where you are.
Gary Allen not only said no, he jumped in front of him, so he had to remain where he was.
CBS Sports next Saturday, NCAA basketball. Number 2 ranked DePaul, impressive yesterday in their victory against number 1 Georgetown, even more impressive in their victory. Or Tulsa against the Razorbacks of Arkansas, live at 3:45 Eastern Time. Cowboys out of the huddle in a hurry. A lot of noise. White back to throw. Under pressure. Hit by the Redskins' Dave Butts and Charles Mann. And Dexter Manley also there. I think Manley was first. Danny White was slow getting up.
Danny White looks like he felt all 3 of them. Let's watch this rush. What they do is they put a man over the center, then they overload the left side of the Cowboys, then they get the big push from that side. See, 3 guys coming from the left defensive side. Mann is the first guy there. Manley's the second guy there. They high-low him.
The sandwich. On the 20 again, they'll go. White gets to Dorsett. Dorsett, perhaps 3. Rich Merlot on the stop. They'll have to put it up. Other scores. When you get down to this point, everything means something somewhere. The Rams 17, Houston 13. The Rams trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. San Diego 6-3 over Denver. That one means a bunch. Joe Gibbs and Joe Theismann. That really is a mutual admiration society right there.
Well, Joe Gibbs is a heck of a coach, and I know what he was talking about Theismann. You can't do anything about the last time you're down there. We're talking about the next time you get down there.
Mike Renfro on a strike from White with Darrell Green on defense. 9 yards and a Cowboy first down.
We'll see Renfro out there. He's going to run an out pattern. Now he knows just where he has to go for the first down. See, just gets just beyond that first down marker, enough so he can work back a little, but still keep that first down before Darrell Green can get there to tackle him. That's a smart veteran player doing that. So many of them will come up short of the first down marker.
First down, Cowboys. White goes back to work quickly. Intended for Dorsett, no flags. That looked, I wonder. Neil Olkowitz on the stop.
Well, it looked like he was tackled after the ball went by him now. I don't think it didn't look like it was before he got there. That was kind of a forced pass anyway, I think. Let's just watch it here, right there. I don't know where the ball, yeah, the ball was hitting already. The ball was beyond him. Because it looked like, Dorsett's pointing though, but it looked like he did touch him after the ball went by.
Well, he always point.
And Dorsett, you always have to tackle him. You never know if he has it or what he's going to do with it or where he is or anything.
Second down. Renfro again. First down.
Those are 2 big plays by Mike Renfro. The first one getting the first down. This one on Vernon Dean. But the thing he does here is get both feet in bounds before he goes out. Watch him. He has the ball. 1, 2, both of them there. He just held them there like a delay. He just let the feet sit on the ground as he went out.
Time remaining first half. 2 minutes, 11 seconds. Cowboys leading the Redskins 14-6. They have 1 timeout left. Right. Here comes the Redskins blitz. Mel Kaufman was not picked up by anybody.
I'll tell you, they had a line stunt on inside. Now watch the stunt where the end comes to the inside, the tackle goes to the outside, and the linebacker comes from outside the tackle. Mel Kaufman. They didn't block him. They were so busy trying to pick up those line stunts of the Redskins that no one looked at Kaufman.
That's a 2-minute warning. Just checking the offensive line setup for Dallas. Posderick, who started, is out, and Brian Baldinger is now playing right offensive tackle.
that extra effort makes winners. Be all you can be, sponsored by the U.S. Army. At the age of 37, San Diego's Charlie Joyner is the NFL's oldest receiver. A further testament to number 18's durability is the fact that he was originally drafted as a defensive back by the Houston Oilers. And since switching both positions and teams, this ageless wonder has gone on to catch more passes than any player in NFL history. By striving for that second effort in an age when most players are long retired, Charlie Joyner has become the best he can be.
Blue GC8, this is Army 212, 7 miles northwest, low fuel, heavy weather.
Army 212, radar contact, turn right, heading 150.
With a fog-bound helicopter hanging on your every word, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, only that you're good.
Slowly.
Roger.
Overlanding threshold.
Be all that you can be.
Thanks for your help.
Roger.
You can do it in the Army.
You know, we always talk about a line stunt. Let's show what one is, where the end comes first, the tackle crosses behind him. This end comes, they're doing it on both sides. Tackle comes behind, the middle linebacker comes, and look, they got all this stuff going on in here, so no one sees Mel Kaufman comes from the outside. But watch all those line stunts, those guys crossing. See them on both sides, the middle linebacker, the Cowboys are all in their pack trying to get all that stuff. Here comes Kaufman from the outside on Danny White.
There is number 62, Brian Baldinger, who's now the right tackle in place of Cosbie. Cosbie has a twisted knee. He came in with a bad knee, and Baldinger has taken his place. There's Darrell Grant moving around. He had a bad knee earlier. Rafferty points to him.
Darrell Grant was going on a stunt there, too. He just got those big arms and legs started a little early. I think what happened, I think the Cowboys were shifting. Now watch their line, the offensive line of the Cowboys. See that shift? Well, Grant read that as the ball moving. So he's reading something. Those defensive guys just read anything that moves. That was a shift, so he started taking his stun on the shift.
That makes it 2nd and 13 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. The ball's at the 40. There's Grant moving again. Over the center. White. Who has got somebody? Mike Renfro. Renfro. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Mike Renfro, that's his 3rd big play. That was against Darrell Green. It was a stop and go. Now watch him. He's out here. He's going to give him a little stop there. You see him stop? And then Green held. Then he went right by him, and Danny White just leads him out there. Green can't get there. Renfro now makes a little move on Jordan. Back to the inside. Smells end zone and touchdown. 3 big plays on that drive by Renfro.
Septien hits the extra point. Cowboys go out in front 21-6. 80 yards in 7 plays.
You talk about a sales job. This end is coming down. Mike Renfro, he wants to sell him hook. Sell him hook. Darrell Grant bought hook. And then Renfro ran right by him.
Shades of what we showed you from Art Monk in the opening.
Evans can't breathe.
My nose is so stuffed, air can't get through.
Prove it. Would you try Dristan long-lasting nasal spray?
I'll try anything.
It can give you relief in seconds that lasts all day. Can you breathe now?
I think so.
Prove it. Still breathing freely?
Yeah.
Prove it. Prove it to yourself. Tristan Long Lasting goes to work in seconds, lasts all day. Or try Tristan Regular.
Sunday after 60 Minutes.
We're in the same business.
The creator of A House of Horrors involves Jessica in a seemingly unsolvable mystery when he's found dead. James Coco guest stars on Murder, She Wrote.
21-6, Dallas over Washington. A minute 50 left to play first half. Mike Nelms back deep and Rafael Septien to kick off. The Cowboys drive 7. The number of plays, 80 yards. And Mike Renfro had a big series. Deep, good kick. Nelms in the sunlight coming out. Hit at the 20. Looked like Vince Albritton, the first man to hit, along with Jeff Rohr. Next Saturday here on CBS. It begins with the NFL today. Phil Simms, the new Giant leader, although they lost today, they're still alive. That starts at 12 noon Eastern Time Saturday when they play the New Orleans Saints. It is now a must-win situation for them. Washington, by the way, has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. The Cowboys are down to 1. A hot first half for Danny White. Joe Washington in the game now for the Redskins. Theismann back to throw. Outside Joe Washington. Chased by Bates and taken out of bounds and down by Bates. The other scores, and so many of them mean so much. This one here is 21-6 Cowboys in St. Louis. The Cardinals beat the Giants 31-21. So they pull even with the Giants, and the loser of this game, Green Bay 20-14 over Chicago. The Bears' home field advantage disappearing. Pittsburgh 23-20 over Cleveland. The rest of them right after this play. Theismann back to throw. Didier is the receiver. First down Washington. Stopped by Dexter Clinkscale. The rest of the scores. Cincinnati keeps its playoff hopes alive with a 24-21 victory. And Kansas City bombed Seattle 34-7. Denver's playing San Diego, so there's a big showdown coming up for them this afternoon, and another bigger one next week. 1:31 left to play first half. 1st and 10 from the 37.
With all their space-age technology, most microwave ovens still cook too many things unevenly. Undercooked here, overcooked there. A problem you won't have with the Sharp Carousel 2 convection microwave, thanks to Sharp's turntable design that cooks food evenly at every turn. After all, what's the point of owning a microwave if it can't even do the little things right? Sharp microwaves from Sharp Minds and Sharp products.
Over the years, a lot of small businesses have developed their own systems of communicating.
Yes, sir. Eric, talk to
But
Derek.
now there's a better way. Meet the Merlin system from AT&T. Merlin's a telephone, an intercom, a conference caller, and has dozens of features you can select.
Anderson.
So Merlin can grow as your small business grows. Call about Merlin. AT&T Information Systems, when you've got to be right.
Pat Summerall and John Madden were at Texas Stadium. The timeouts remaining situation are like that. Washington has 2. Dallas has 1. A minute and a half remaining to play. Cowboys leading the Redskins 21-6. Washington has the ball. 1st and 10, their own 37. Calvin Muhammad is split wide to the left, and Art Monk is out wide to the right. Dallas cornerbacks right up with him. Theismann chased, and down goes Theismann by Jim Jeffcoat. And Theismann has one of his offensive linemen down. I think it's Joe Jacoby.
It is Joe Jacoby, and Joe Jacoby is the guy that blocks Jim Jeffcoat, who got there.
Like it's his left arm.
Left shoulder.
Shoulder.
Hey, Joe Jacoby, I've always felt, is one of the best tackles in the game today. One of the best offensive linemen in the game. I mean, you talk about a guy who's a big guy, but he's not just a big guy. He's a big guy that plays well. And that's where they've had so much of their success over the years.
Yeah.
Running John Riggins, running him in there behind Jacoby and Grimm on that left side.
Well, that's Russ Grimm, who's kneeling down. His buddy, his roommate, the guy who plays next to on the offensive line, who's the other player, looking down in there. Let's see, John, if we can figure out what did happen to Jacoby. Now he looks like he's well, that's encouraging to see him getting up like that.
Well, let's watch it from the chalkboard. He's going to start right here. The play is going to this side, so the injury is he's going to come over and go with it. The injury is going to happen back here. Let's see if we can watch him all the way. See, he leaves there for a while. Now Jeffcoat starts inside. See, and he's reaching in there to try and get Jeffcoat. He keeps going with it there. Randy White pushes him from behind, and he goes right down on his left shoulder. That's what it was. That was another line stunt that they ran on that one.
I think it just stung him a little bit. I don't think it's serious. It doesn't look like it. I'm not a doctor, certainly, but now May goes over next to Grimm, and Stark comes in at right tackle. Too tall. Jones knocks the ball loose, and it's still loose. Redskins have it.
Tell you, that's a tough thing. George Stark just came in. He goes at right tackle. Let's watch him here. He goes against Too Tall Jones. He has to come in off the bench. Watch him. Too Tall gets a good jump on him. He gets him pushed. He's going to run right around Stark. Theismann was looking downfield, just started to set up, and Too Tall was right on him.
Now Jacoby is back, and Mark May, who had moved to left tackle, has moved back to right tackle.
And Stark had to say, that's no fun doing one play like that against Too Tall. He just ran right around me.
Well, Stark's had a bad knee. Theismann, the ball is hammered and loose again, and the Redskins get it back. A vicious hit by Randy White on Joe Washington. Knocked the ball loose, and Theismann got it back.
Randy White's coming out here today and says, I want to take these guys on all by myself today. Jeffcoat, he had a big play. Too Tall had a big play in that series. Let's watch what happens here. Randy White just makes a move on Grimm. He was down on the ground. It wasn't Randy White. It was Smirek that hit him. It was a left tackle that got him.
Wow.
Smirek was in there on a pass rush. He was going on a pass rush. He's the pass rushing left tackle of the Cowboys. Comes in for John Dutton. He was running on a pass rush. He said, look what I got here. I got Joe Washington.
Gary Allen back deep for the Cowboys, who just used their last timeout, hoping to get some more points on the board. Jeff Hayes will punt for the Redskins, standing back at his own goal line. Wow. A lot of things happening very quickly.
By defensive linemen. Jeffcoat had one, Too Tall had one, and then Don Smirek. Stotner will be proud over there on the sideline.
Hayes. Good kick. Super kick. Not much room. The Redskins are always good on special teams, as I'm sure you know. 48-yard punt, 6-yard return, so a 42-yard net for Hayes. Coming up at the half. Scores and highlights, and there are a lot of them, with Brenton Irv and a farewell to Phillips. Those are sad words to say. Other scores, second quarter, the Rams over Houston 20-13. Eric Dickerson, as you know, chasing O.J. Simpson's all-time record, and 6-6 between San Diego and Denver. Springs for 6. They're going to have to hurry to do much more with this. Septien. Over getting loose. Clock still running with 15 seconds left, and White's going to go to work in the air. If he has time. He doesn't. Second sack by the Redskins. Dexter Manley was the first man there.
You know, Danny White. Excuse me, John. No, Danny White was saying yesterday that last week when he had the 4 interceptions, he said he tried to force the ball. He said today, if they're there, he's going to take the sack.
Glenn Titensor, who's played very well as the offensive left guard, might have been shaken up. Looks like he is concerned a little bit as they head for the locker room at the half with the score. Dallas 21, Washington 6.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Commodore Computers. It's not how little you pay, but how much you get for the money. And by Allstate for home, auto, business, health, and life. You're in good hands with Allstate.
This gift is for a friend of mine, so he won't feel alone at Christmas time.
Remember the true spirit of Christmas on Kodacolor VR films. Kodak's sharpest, most dazzling color print films ever.
Dear Joe, I sent this gift because you're my very best friend, love. Santa Claus.
Did you hear AT&T has introduced something rather radical? The Reach Out America plan. Calling anywhere in the United States weekends and nights is just $10 an hour. The next is even less. So you can see how far your money goes. Quite ingenious, really. They even have a number for ordering. 1-800-551-3131. Reach Out America. They may be onto something.
AT&T. The more you hear, the better we sound.
In the world of sight and sound, you lead the rest. Emerson, America loves you best. You kept the holidays right in tune. You gave us memories of the moon, winter weekends and summer afternoons that we could wish upon. America turns on Emerson, 'cause Emerson turns America on.
Emerson products that turn America on at fine stores everywhere.
In college basketball's glamour month of December, CBS Sports presents the nation's top teams head-to-head as they pursue their dreams of winning it all. Next Saturday, in what may be a preview of things to come, second-ranked DePaul goes against Patrick Ewing and top-ranked Georgetown. In 2 weeks, UCLA visits New York's Madison Square Garden to face Chris Mullin and third-ranked St. John's. Here on the home of the NCAA Championship, CBS Sports.
We'll first try to sort out the playoff picture. Keep in mind that all 5 AFC teams are in. The Raiders qualified today. In the NFC, by virtue of this upset, the Packers over the Bears in Chicago, the Bears perhaps will have to go on the road for a divisional playoff game, and they blew it right here. Inside of 40 seconds, Rich Campbell on the scramble gets the ball to Phillip Epps. He cuts back inside, and he's got the touchdown, and Chicago loses it 20-14, and now, of course, their record is 9-6. Miami comes back. 4 touchdown passes by Dan Marino. That gives him 44 for the season. And the Dolphins now are closing in on the home field advantage all the way in the AFC playoffs. Kansas City could have prevented Seattle from that honor. And now the Seahawks are going to have to beat Denver next Saturday just to win the AFC West. If they lose that confrontation in Seattle, they will wind up with the wild card. Tampa Bay defeated Atlanta. 23-6 was the final there. Cincinnati with an excellent chance now of winning the AFC Central. Look at what the Bengals did this afternoon. 24-21 over the Saints. Now, keep in mind that if they tie the Pittsburgh Steelers, they own the tiebreaker. Here is the Steelers score right here. They had to pull this game out against the Cleveland Browns 23-20. You know, they have, I think, the best rookie in the league. Lewis Lips going long here for a touchdown. His 11th touchdown of the season. He was all over the field for Mark Malone in that game. And here's the situation with the Steelers. They play the Raiders next Sunday, and they have to win it because it is a confrontation between the Bengals and the Bills, and the Bengals will have the edge there. There's the game that put the Raiders in the playoffs. The Eagles beating the Patriots 27-17 this afternoon. And, of course, St. Louis and the Giants, 31-21. The score was tied at 21. Draw play. And here came the great O.J. Anderson. Getting around the left side into the end zone, Neil O'Donoghue added a field goal. It was a 10-point triumph by the Cardinals and Jim Hannafin, who have the confrontation with the Redskins in Washington. The Giants now are pulling for Dallas to win this game and then lose next Monday to Miami. They must beat New Orleans. They need a three-way tie to earn the tiebreaker and still wrap up the division. So there's still a chance for the Giants. But the Cowboys, certainly, they hold the upper hand right now because if they win both games, they would wrap it up. Games in progress right now. San Diego and Denver, they're tied at 6. They're at the half. The Rams lead Houston 20-13. Dickerson has rushed for 106 yards. He's within 106 of O.J. Simpson's record. And, of course, the game you're watching right now, the Dallas Cowboys are in control. We're going to come back and say so long to a buddy of ours, Phyllis George. And we'll do that when we continue right after these messages from your local stations.
Tonight,
we're in the same business.
The creator of A House of Horrors involves Jessica in an unsolvable mystery when he's found dead. James Coco guest stars on Murder, She Wrote. Then John Ritter, Shelley Long, Joan Collins, Cary Grant, Burt Reynolds, and over 100 stars in a night of love, laughter, and surprises. An all-star party for Lucille Ball. And on Trapper John, a brilliant young surgeon must choose between the perfect career and his duty to his hometown.
Moment of truth has arrived. Don't blow it, kid.
It's all tonight.
This is CBS.
The only difference between these 84 Corvettes is the gasoline they're using. This one accelerates faster with Amoco Premium Lead-Free. It's Amoco's highest octane lead-free and the same high-performance gasoline that helps solve engine problems like knock and run-on in your car.
The new Ford Rangers are really tough. Take this new Standard Ranger, twin I-beam suspension, and the widest cab of any compact. This Ranger 4x4 has the same thing, plus four-wheel drive. And with the Ranger XLT, you can get sporty options, plus a powerful V6 engine. But my favorite Ranger of all is the one Ford designed to my personal specifications. I call it Riggo's Ranger.
And now you can win Riggo's Ranger. Call your local Ford dealer for details.
One of these men has high blood pressure. 1 in 6 American adults does. It strikes the young, the old, black, white, physically fit, not so fit. Most people have no symptoms. Yet high blood pressure can cause stroke, heart attack, kidney disease, a shortened life. Who has the high blood pressure? The one you'd least suspect. How about you? It only takes your doctor 30 seconds to find out. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield, we believe there's more to good health than just paying bills.
Eyewitness News, the one to watch, weekdays at 5.
Well, as you've no doubt noticed in recent weeks, our family of 4 has shrunk to 3. And again, as you probably know, Phyllis George is leaving us on the NFL today, but she remains a part of our extended family here at CBS because next month, Phyllis embarks on a new challenge with the CBS Morning News. And on behalf of all of us here, we wish her the very best.
Roger, you have an all-American image. You're kind of a straight guy. Do you enjoy it, or is it a burden?
You know, I enjoy sex as much as Joe Namath. Only I do it with one girl, you know?
What can I tell you, folks? Thank you.
And get rid of those microphones and get going. We got to take off. Joe, thank you very much.
Oh, what would I do without my sweet
I'm here to tell you about the team that we think is going to go all the way is my 3.5-year-old Lincoln. Lincoln, who's that team? The Dallas Cowboys. That's right.
Phyllis, we had a lot of great moments, and all of us wish you really the very best with the morning news.
You expect me to talk now after that wonderful... who put that together? Did you put that together?
No, one of our producers downstairs did that.
You know, I would like to take this opportunity to say some things to everyone. It has really been a marvelous experience here. And you have to know that when you've been a part of a family and you're not really leaving, you're just saying goodbye for a while. I've grown so much through the years as a professional, as a broadcaster, and as a person. And I'll never forget all the memories that I've had with all three of you and all the production staff here, and Teddy and Duke and George and everyone. But I am looking forward to my new challenge, and with the CBS News team, and being a part of that highly regarded and very wonderful, rich in tradition organization they've got there. And you know, Brent, there's one interesting thing. My decision really wasn't as tough as yours, because there was no doubt I was going to stay at CBS. I mean, that was easy for me. You want to talk about that? Why were you going to leave this show? How dare you do that?
I couldn't. You know that.
Phyllis, we feel the same tears you feel right now. You know, this family's been very close for a number of years, and we're going to miss you. And good luck with your new assignment.
Thank you.
You know, but there's one good thing about it. I get to watch her 5 mornings every week.
Hey, you promise you'll do that?
I promise,
well,
faithfully.
I'm certainly going to grow on that show as I've done on this show, but I know that opportunity could not have come about unless I had spent the years here and learning it with all of you. And Brent, you have just been terrific to work with, and congratulations, seriously, on your new deal.
Phyllis, you're going to do great on that show. Okay, we
January
wish you...
14th.
January 14th. We'll tune in and watch Phyllis George on the CBS Morning News. And the NFL Today continues on CBS in just a moment.
Goodbye, everyone.
The National Football League is something more than competition, more than the emotions of victory or defeat. There's also a family of professionals and a sense of commitment, not only to the game, but to the communities and to all the people that are part of that bigger family. This year, and for more than a decade, NFL Charities has provided funds to the dozens of underfunded colleges serving minority students, to the dedicated volunteer groups fighting against drug and alcohol abuse, to disadvantaged older persons, including some former NFL players who are now in dire need, and to the many organizations that contribute to the goodness of our country and the hopes of its citizens. NFL Charities is there, making a difference in the lives of people. This message furnished by the National Football League.
And the work of NFL Charities continues to grow today with the announcement of a $25,000 grant to the United Negro College Fund, which supports 41 predominantly black colleges and universities in the country. Executive Director Christopher Edley accepts the check from Tex Schramm, the president of the Cowboys. $21-6 at the half at Texas Stadium in this bitter rivalry between the Cowboys and the Redskins. And as we talked about, John Madden, before the game, this one perhaps means more than last year did, certainly because they were both in the playoffs. Are you surprised by what's happened so far?
I am a little surprised. I think what the Redskins have to do is they have to get back to a running game. They have to get John Riggins back in the game, because that's their type of football. They're not a passing team. They're not the type that can just go out and throw it. Joe Theismann in the first half has been sacked 4 times. So I think to be able to control that rush, I think they have to get some running going and get in those, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 2nd and short type of situations.
John, I remember last year at the Super Bowl when the Raiders got ahead of the Redskins just before halftime. You said to me at the half, one of the things that they've done now when they had that lead at the halftime, is take Riggins out of the game. At what point does Riggins get out of the game?
Well, at the end of the half, he was out of it already. We had Joe Washington in there, and they started to throw the ball more, and that's when they were getting that big rush by the Cowboys. So I think that they just have to, and even though you're behind, it's not the type of thing that they can press. I think they have to establish run, establish Riggins.
Well, let's go back and look at a couple of the highlights of the first half. Unusual plays have been the way the Cowboys have gotten it done. Here is Mike Renfro. Remember at the beginning of the game, we showed you Art Monk in a stop-and-go move. Well, there's a page out of that book as Renfro goes by Darrell Green. We showed him a little inside juke, got behind him, got away from Green, and got into the end zone. Earlier in the half, more big plays. The Cowboys felt they had to hit some big ones, and they've done it. The screen pass. Redskins were stunting and blitzing, and they got him with the right call. A screen pass to Dorsett. He got a halfway block from Tony Hill and turned it into a gain of 39 yards. That play set up this touchdown, which John Madden is going to tell you about, to Doug Cosbie.
You know, watch the play. Now, what it is, it's a bootleg. Both backs fake this way. Danny White comes out this way. But sometimes you get open by beating a man. Sometimes you get open by fooling him. Watch Doug Cosbie here. He comes out. He runs behind the line of scrimmage. He sneaks back here and then sneaks right out here for the touchdown. And the Redskins didn't really know where he comes from. What? The play fake, the bootleg. Watch Cosbie coming all the way across behind the line of scrimmage. But right now, Danny White could have ran that ball in the end zone or throw it to Doug Cosbie.
So it's been a first half that the Cowboys have been to dominate by controlling the ball and get those big plays. They lead 21-6.
There's no better way to end a perfect day than to head for the best beer you can find.
Welcome to Miller Time.
At Miller High Life, we begin with nature's finest ingredients. Then we brew our beer so it contains no additives, no preservatives, so nothing comes between you and the taste of just pure beer.
Welcome to Miller Time.
Oh no, I dropped it. It's broken. Can't somebody make a flashlight that'll work when you need it?
Duracell did. Durabeam, a flashlight that really works when you need it. Durabeam's casing is as tough as a football helmet. The lens is shatterproof. It'll throw a light 50% brighter than ordinary flashlights. And obviously, it's weatherproof. Ask him how important that is. Durabeam from Duracell. The gift that really works when you need it.
Marianne Sanford makes over 20 critical checks on seatbelt systems in GM cars. She's only one of over 1,800 GM people who make more than 6,000 safety inspections on over 6 million GM cars worldwide to build safer cars, because it's important to you and to her.
Okay, guys, buckle up.
Nobody sweats the details like GM.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Pontiac. Cars built with a feel for the road. Pontiac, we build excitement. AT&T, the more you hear, the better we sound. And by General Motors, extra time, extra effort, and attention to every detail. GM is committed to excellence.
Second half to come. Cowboys 21, Redskins 6. Pat Summerall and John Madden and Rafael Septien set to kick off in the direction of Mike Nelms, number 21. Didn't get it all. Nelms at the 16. He gets a dangerous this time. Nelms hit by Steve Diassi. Let's look at the first half statistics.
You know, I think one of the big things in addition to these statistics here, you see the yards passing. The Cowboys had 198-77 to the Redskins. But more important than that is the Redskins, if they get down there, when they get down there again, they have to score touchdowns. I mean, they did have some drives, and they had to settle for field goals.
Just looking down after that kickoff, that's Otis Wansley, who is a very, very cherished member of the Redskins special teams. In fact, he's so good on special teams that Joe Gibbs won't play him in the regular offensive setup.
I don't think I've ever heard that before, but Joe did say, you know, he's so valuable that we don't want to use him at fullback, and he could be a pretty good running back. But it looks like right at the end of the play, see, he starts running in there to make the block, and he just gets clipped by his own guy. There's a pile. There's a Cowboy guy, a Redskin guy, and that pile ran into Wansley is what it was.
First down, Washington, as the crowd again comes back to life. Hand off Riggins. Riggins is hit by Dutton with some help from Too Tall Jones, I think.
That's the type of thing that I think the Redskins will do. You know, establish it. I never believed in that establish the run to throw the pass, but with this Redskin team, I do. I mean, I think they have to make that defense anchor in. Keep all those guys in to stop Riggins. Then they're much more successful throwing.
Redskins still have Riggins set up behind Theismann.
teams in defense, I think the Cowboys do a better job at this than anyone. Now watch Jeff Goat. He's the guy right here at the bottom of the picture. Starts his rush on Jacoby, stops, can't get there, just put your hand up there. You know, that's one of the toughest things to teach, that guys are always trying to beat guys, but if you just push them, get a couple steps, then put your hands up, that's tough for any quarterback.
Makes it 3rd and 6, and Joe Washington has replaced Riggins. Didier in motion. Almost picked off by Bill Bates. Almost a touchdown. They went for Washington. Bates guessed correctly.
Bill Bates has always been a guy to knock things down. He's never been a guy to catch him. He gets a jump on this ball. He sees Theismann look. He sees Theismann throw. He gets a jump. He gets out in front of it. Oh, my gosh, right through those gloved hands. He likes to knock things down anyway. People, balls, markers.
Pedestrians.
Kids in the playground when he was a kid in the playground.
Gary Allen back deep. There's Jeff Hayes will punt for the Redskins. He got off another good punt. Allen, 27-yard line to the 30. And Dallas will take over at that point. A 40-yard punt by Hayes, 3-yard return. They net 37. Cowboys 21, Washington 6.
Introducing technology is one thing. Making it easy to use is another. So at AT&T, we not only have people who know machines, but people who know people. A group of over 150 psychologists who test people's reactions to new products to find out what they're comfortable with and what they're not. You see, we believe even the most advanced technology is of little use if people are afraid of using it. AT&T, we're reaching out in new directions.
It's